The final module is the maximizer. This is a digital peak limiter designed to maximize the overall output by limiting the dynamic range and boosting the perceived overall level of the mix. Ozone's intelligent release control technology allows us to boost the overall level without sacrificing dynamics or clarity. This is a whole mix process, not a multiband processor. Let's take a look. There are 4 limiting modes, 2 of which have further substyles. Select the mode you wish to use by clicking on its name down the left-hand side of the display. IRC1 provides intelligent digital loudness maximization. It reacts quickly to transients, but reacts more slowly to steady bass tones. This has the overall effect of preventing pumping and distortion. IRC2 is similar to IRC1, but optimised to preserve transients even more, resulting in a sharper and clearer output signal. IRC3 uses a very CPU-intensive algorithm. Limiting can be performed very quickly before producing distortion that's audible to the human ear. Release times will vary depending on material. There are 4 styles available in this mode. The default is balanced, which should be suitable for most material. Pumping is the least aggressive style for this mode. The release control isn't as constrained, which may result in pumping. Desirable for some genres. Crisp has a more aggressive release behaviour and will distort rather than pump, again suitable for some material. Clipping is the most aggressive this mode and will achieve the greatest loudness, but will also colour the sound slightly as well as carry a risk of clipping. IRC4 is the latest advance in the IRC technology and shapes the spectrum to further reduce pumping and distortion. There are 3 style choices available. Classic provides a general enhancement of the mix with a sound reminiscent of legacy ozone limiting algorithms. Modern also generally enhances the mix, but with greater detail and clarity than the classic style. Transient is optimised to preserve transients, resulting in a very detailed overall sound. The controls are similar to those on the vintage limiter. Threshold sets the point at which limiting will begin. The more this point is reduced, the louder the overall mix will become, as gain is automatically added to maximise output. This also doubles as a meter, displaying both incoming signal and the amount of gain reduction being applied. Ceiling is the maximum output level allowed. As with the vintage limiter, it's recommended to use -0.3 when dithering and -0.8 for audio being converted to MP3 or AAC files. Also similar to the vintage limiter, true peak limiting allows a limiter to take account of digital to analog conversion rather than just basing it on the digital samples. Turn it on by clicking on the icon. Although it increases CPU usage, it's recommended that this option is used if the mix is particularly hot. It will ensure there is no distortion introduced at the digital to analog conversion process. The character slider customises the overall response time and thus the character of the sound. 4 settings are available from fast, smooth, transparent and slow, although the transition between them is a continuous, smooth process. Stereo unlink has a default of 0, which means that any limiting performed is equal across the stereo image. From 1 to 100%, the two limiters are used to apply different limiting to each channel. Below 50% and the gain controls for the stereo image take precedence. Higher than 50% and the individual channel gains are favoured. Transient emphasis is used to preserve the transients of sharper sounds such as drums while still optimising overall loudness. Turn it on by clicking on the on-off icon. As the setting is increased, the more pronounced the transients will be.
Many words have been said.
The display area at the top shows either the full frequency spectrum of the incoming signal or a gain reduction trace view that shows visually how and where limiting is being applied. Click on the relevant icon to switch between the two. And that's the Maximizer module for adding that final level increase across your mix.